Calvin Wilkinson.
I'm Kendra Doctor.
I'm Tara Tiki.
I'm Stephanie Bree.
And my name is Nosa Boyd.
And today we're going to talk to you guys about social media addiction. I know that many of you guys may think that social media is something that can have no negative impact on you. I know it's fun. You can communicate with your friends. You can, have fun on it and post your ideas. But the reality is that there are some negative effects that social media can have on you if you use it excessively. And so we're here to educate you guys on what those negative effects are and how to use it in a healthy way so that you guys can avoid some of the pitfalls that come with using it excessively. Some of those pitfalls are it can cause social anxiety, it can cause depression, and it can cause insomnia. So an example of each of these would be, let's say for example, you're always on social media and you're looking at your friends on Instagram and they seem to be having a great time, they're always on vacation or going to parties. Well, the reality is that's not real life. That's the best moments of their life. So if you're constantly looking at Instagram and comparing yourself to people, that can make you depressed about your life. Social anxiety as well. If you're always online talking to people, you never speak to someone face to face, that can be detrimental to your social development, and it can cause you to actually have anxiety when you speak to people face to face. Insomnia is another example, because a lot of teens, they'll get on their phone at 11:30, 12 at night, and they'll just be streaming through Facebook, streaming through Instagram, and what that does is it messes up your circadian rhythm, which is basically your body's natural clock. So those are some of the things that we want you guys to avoid, and so that's why we're here today to present to you guys.
So, as high school students, you're required about 8 to 10 hours of sleep a day, and this was recommended by the National Sleep Foundation, so the U.S. government had implemented this. But one of the reasons why students don't get sleep is because they probably use a cell phone maybe an hour or 2 hours before they go to bed. And from what Calvin said, it can mess with the circadian rhythm. A study which was released about 6 years ago, 2006, right? They found out that 88% of high school students like you guys having access to some kind of smartphone, and 87% having access to a laptop or desktop, and about 56% have access to some kind of tablet. And in that same study, they sent out about let's say 1,500 surveys to students, and what they did was after the survey they asked them, do you guys use your cell phones before you go to bed? And more than half of them agreed that they use their cell phones. And those same people also complained that they didn't have a good night's sleep, and also their areas actually full-fledged function in the daytime in the classroom. And this can affect you because once you get to class and you start sleeping while the teacher's talking, or maybe you might sneak to use your cell phone or check out maybe the new post or someone's new Snapchat story, it can affect what the teacher's talking, because that's not going to help you. As high school students, we all know your purpose here is to learn and to graduate, to get into college and get a good degree. But if you constantly use a cell phone, it might lead to insomnia. And there's actually a study which was done last year in 2015, and it basically just showed that you guys are high school students. If you use your cell phone too much, excessive social media use can lead to depression, with the middle factor being sleep deprivation or insomnia. So if you use your cell phone at night, or if you don't get enough sleep, and you constantly use your cell phone, and constantly compare yourself with people and be oh well, she has a better dress than me, or oh she traveled to this place, or oh he got into this school, and you keep constantly comparing yourself, that can lead to depression. So we as a group are not here to totally tell you to stop using social media, but to help you guys regulate the amount or the number of hours you'll use social media.
All right, so I know all of you guys have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So how many hours a day do you think that you spend on social media? By show of hands.
I'm saying every minute.
Every minute?
Because I really want to pull my phone out, and then I'm just it's about phone.
Okay. Anyone else? 24 hours? 24 hours?
That's
all day.
like 12.
12 hours?
How do you do that?
10 hours? 5 hours? Okay.
You say 1?
1 hour, that's not So the average hours is 3 hours a day. So you want to kind of stay in that range. You know, you don't want to do 12 hours a day. So how many of you guys know what social media addiction is? No, no one. Okay. And then how many of you think that you're at risk for being addicted to social media?
Maybe Snapchat.
Maybe Snapchat. Maybe Snapchat. Okay. All right. And then I could get one person to tell me, how would you feel if you were asked not to use social media for a day? Anyone?
Wouldn't
How would
bother
you feel?
me. It wouldn't bother me.
It wouldn't bother you at all? You feel fine? You can get on Facebook,
Go to sleep.
Instagram, check updates.
As long as I'm able to read, I'm okay.
I couldn't read.
I enjoy it.
Can I be on my phone?
No social media.
No.
No social media.
No.
Okay.
I'll be good, because I like to play a lot of games, so.
That's good.
I like games on my phone.
You bet. Playing basketball. That's good. That's good. All right, so I just kind of wanted to gauge your perspective, given the background history that Nelsa gave. But Terrence is actually going to go over what social media addiction is and how it can affect you.
Alright, social media addiction. All y'all know what addiction is? Can someone tell me what addiction is? Somebody, anybody?
You have to have it.
Yeah, having to doing something.
You can't stop.
You can't stop
And
doing
you,
it.
and if you don't stop craving.
Stop craving. So it's compulsive behavior that you continue to do despite its negative consequences on you, correct? And so social media addiction is when you use social media, although it's having a negative consequence on you, you're still doing the behavior. Well, that's social media addiction. The national average on the amount of time to be on your social media is probably about 3 hours a day. Although in addiction, there's no really cutoff time for when you're supposed to do it. Everybody's different. So, but once you get that negative result as to using it, that's when it's known as being addicted. So you said you're on it just about all day. Y'all two said you're on it all day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. Do you think it interferes with your work?
Oh, yeah. I
Interferes
go to
with
work
your work?
and I got to. Especially when I'm texting somebody.
That sounds like a borderline addict. Is anybody else have that feeling to when they're utilizing it that's interfering with schoolwork, practice, hanging out with friends, spending time? No? Well, that's what social media addiction is. And like my colleagues, Calvin and Nosa said, as teenage students, y'all need about 8 to 10 hours of sleep. And being a social media addict, you know, you're prone to depression, insomnia, lack of motivation, and a lot of things. Researchers have deemed a new phenomenon called Facebook depression. Can y'all believe that? Yeah, I know. Facebook depression. And you get this, it's depression-like symptoms when you get on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. And like my colleague also said, it's when you, oftentimes students get on there, they compare their lives to, you know, the other kids. So you see kids doing well, and you're like, dang, I wish that was me. When in reality, like Calvin said, that may just be the highlight of their day. It's not what they typically go through every day. And so once y'all see that, y'all often compare, and y'all feel as though that y'all aren't up to that level of standard, which is absolutely true. And again, how many of y'all think that y'all can put it down, or that can't put down their phone, social media?
I'm doing it right now. I'm sure
You can't. But do you know why you can't put it down? Is there any barriers that stop you from putting it down? You know, the text message.
Social media is like a pattern.
It's just like a pattern. So what do you think will happen if you don't respond to that text message? The other recipient's gonna get angry after you.
I don't know.
You missed out on
You
something.
missed out, yeah.
Well, those are some of the barriers that people believe they can't put down their cell phone, social media, rather. It's because they believe they're gonna miss out on life. Which isn't true, because how many of y'all hang out with each other outside of school? I'm quite sure all y'all hang out with each other. Anybody who involved in sports. Nobody hangs out with each other. High school students, the most crucial years of your life. You're a senior, right? You're not going to tell anybody. You don't want to
I mean, I mean, that's a few girls, but I got 5 class, I ain't gonna steal them, right?
No,